Yep, I am definitely on a roll. It is yet another tag. I am so happy. My very good friend Sarah over at Novel Serendipity, she tagged me in the Stay at Home tag, which was created by Madison Mary over at Princess Paperback. I'm going to leave both Sarah's channel and Madison Mary's channel down in the description bar below. If you're not subscribed to either of them, you should. They're amazing and they do great content. And Sarah is about to relocate to Japan, and so she's going to be vlogging the entire experience. So I'm just like, I love my girl Sarah. She does great content. She deserves all the love and all the subscribers. So just go check her out if you're not subscribed to her already. But as I was saying, it's a Stay at Home book tag and I'm excited and I want to do it. And thank you for tagging me, Sarah. Like, thank you. So the prompts are basically connected with things we usually do when we stay at home, and like, it's so creative. I love it. So the very first prompt says laying in bed, and we are meant to pick a book that we could have or have read in a day. Now you all know I tend to binge through books, especially when I'm really into them. So there are quite a lot of books I have read in a day. So I'm just going to go with a book I plan on reading and that I know I will read in a day. This video is probably going to go up like after I've read said book, so you all will be able to see it. But anyway, I'm going to be going with, yes, Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. It's about 168 pages. It's a very short book, as you can see, and this is definitely a book I feel I can finish in a day. Easy peasy. I've read way bigger books than this, but it's basically all about this group of kids that are taken into like magical worlds, and now they are basically reacclimatized into society. I plan on reading it sometime soon, but it's definitely a book I'm going to pick for laying in bed. The second prompt is snacking, and we're meant to pick a guilty pleasure book. And I was thinking, because a lot of books I read might not necessarily be books that other people like, but I don't consider that, like, I don't consider it because of the fact that people have opinions and thoughts about them. I don't consider them being guilty pleasure books, like books I would sneak to read. I think I'll just go with any Joanna Lindsay book. I was a big fan of Joanna Lindsay. I used to read a book religiously, starting from when I first stumbled on one of them, and I was, I think, 11. Yeah, I just entered secondary school, so I was 11. It was my mother's copy of a Joanna Lindsay book. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was one of the Mallory family series books. So I basically picked it up and I devoured it, and then I went looking for more Joanna Lindsay. And those were books that when I was young, I hid them a lot because they had, like, you know, sex and they had adult themes, and I was like 12 and I didn't want anybody to know that I was reading them, like, especially my mother. And then by the time I turned like 16, 17, 18, I could bring them out in front of my mom. My mom didn't really mind. But by the time I entered university and I was like in my second, third year, and I had like friends and classmates that were reading really serious academic texts, I started feeling weird that I was reading Joanna Lindsay, so I went back to hiding them again. So those are books that you know, have the history of being immense guilty pleasure reads for me, but I still read them. And even till date, if I still stumble on a new set of Joanna Lindsay, I'm gonna buy them. Nostalgia and guilty pleasure, I just what can I say? I love Joanna Lindsay, and her covers were just always so epic covers. Okay, so the next prompt is Netflix, and we have to pick a series we want to start, or pick a series you want to start. And for me, I am going to be going with Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. Yes, this book has assassin nuns, queer assassin nuns, and I'm like, thank you, I'm blessed. And oh my god, I still cannot believe I've not read it. I've been wanting to read it ever since I bought it last year, because it's so hard to get the hardcover of this book. It's so hard. And I've been wanting to read it, and I've just kept putting it off. And the last book in the trilogy, that's Holy Sister, is out. I have that as well. Like, I have the entire trilogy. I should get to reading the series sometime soon, because I repeat, queer assassin nuns, what's not to love? So yeah, definitely a series I intend to start very soon, before the first half of this year is over. Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. The next prompt is Deep Clean, and we're to pick a book that has been on our TBR for ages. I guess I'm going to have to go with The Famished Road by Ben Okri. I've mentioned this because during the Blackathon and Valentine's, this was a book I picked that I wanted to read for both readathons, and I still did not read it. And this book has been on my TBR for the past 20 years. Yes, this book is older than some people. Or rather, the book is older than some people, but also the length of time that this book has been on my TBR is older than some people. Because I remember my primary school teacher was like, you should read this, and then gave me a copy of, not this copy, but gave me a copy of Famished Road. And I looked at him, I'm like, just because I read Achebe and Shoyinka does not mean I want to read this text. This book is big, it's huge. And coming from someone that was reading, you know, Lion and the Jewel and Things Fall Apart, which were, yes, still books that I don't necessarily think other 9-year-olds were reading, but it was still a book that, they were still small books and I could understand them. Like, this was huge to me at the time, and I was just like, no, I'm not going to read this. So I've had this on my TBR for 20 years. Yeah, I've had several copies, I've lost several copies. This is my most recent copy of it, and I fully intend to get to it sometime soon, like hopefully before I turn 30, which is coming really soon. Like really soon. Like 30 is like, bitch, I'm almost here. So yeah, I hope. A girl can hope, right? Oh my god. Next prompt is Animal Crossing, and we had to pick a book we recently bought because of the hype. Now, I did pick The Cruel Prince, yeah, by Holly Black, which I forgot to mention. Benokri's family trade is basically about Anogbanje, which are these spirit beings that are reborn, like children that are reborn to die over and over and over, usually to bring pain to the family. And then you have this character who is Anogbanje but who refuses to go back to the spirit world because they want to experience the world as they know it. So that's basically the family trade. Cruel Prince is a fairy story, right? And you have this girl Jude who is taken into Fae and basically becomes even more Fae than Fae, and it's epic. I love it. But not everybody likes it, but I really love it. So I picked this up because of the hype, and this was like 2 years ago December, and I loved it. But it just occurred to me that 2 years ago December is not recent. So because I don't know if I pick books like of late due to hype. I usually pick books because I want to pick books, not because people, okay fine. So I don't know if this counts as hype, but I am one of the people that was hyping House of Flesh and Blood, which is the first book in the Christian City series by Sarah J Maas. So I don't know if I would consider it, I picked up for hype, because I have like 2 copies of this book, right? One of them is signed. So yeah, and I'm probably going to buy more copies of this book. Yeah, I definitely will. So I don't know, does this count as a hype book when you're the one that is one of the people that are hyping the book? Does it count? Because I did pick it up. 2 copies. I don't know. Second book is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. I picked this because I'm reading through the entirety of Cassandra Clare's series, and this was like, okay fine, this was kind of hyped because everybody was talking about it, but I'd not read the rest of the book in the series, but I just bought into that. Not bought into it, I would have bought the book anyway because, you know, I'm reading through the entirety of Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter world, right? And I would have bought it eventually, but I bought it when I bought it because it was so hyped, and also because this first edition, this collector's first edition comes with a scene, apparently a Will and Tessa scene, wedding scene, that is only going to be in this bind up, so I bought it. So yeah, I think kind of hyped. One of them I hyped myself, the other one I bought kind of because of hype and also kind of not because of hype, if that makes any sense. So I think I failed this question. Apologies. The next prompt is productivity, a book you've learned or one that had an impact on you. I'm going to go with Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I did do a video whereby I was talking about how this book saved me because the lead character Ifemolu was sexually assaulted, and I read it at a point when I was dealing with my own sexual assault, and I was in a depressive state that lasted years as a result of it, and nobody really could tell what was wrong, and I could not even tell what was wrong, and I could not tell how I could find healing. I could not get started on that journey because of certain things that I believed about the situation that gave way to that. And you had Ifemelu kind of going through a similar situation, and I am not joking, I would not be here today if not for this book. This book saved me and taught me so much, and I found myself in a character, not just because of the fact that we both are survivors of sexual assault, but also because of so many themes and so many decisions and the way she was. I could see myself in her. So I would say a book that I learned a lot from definitely is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's Americana. And this is the reason why, even though this is not her most popular book, this is my favorite of the books she's written. It would always hold a special place in my heart because of that. So Americana, yeah. The next prompt is Facetime, and we have to pick a book we were gifted. First, I would go with this baby over here, The Diviners by Libra Bray, hardcover, exclusive. This edition is just gorgeous. This is the most expensive book on my shelf. And I got it as a gift because Chika was like, it's on your wish list. Like, I put this on my wish list as I would eventually get to it. And then when it arrived, I screamed so loud. Thank you so much, Chika. This is more than generous. Like, oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God, definitely divine as believe and pray. Like, I still smile so much when I see it because it is such a great gift and so thoughtful, and I'm such a great gift. I'm so it's so thoughtful. I'm so touched. I'm so emotional. Thank you, thank you. And then there's Warbreaker, which is my very first Brandon Sanderson book, and it was gifted to me by Amy over Amy Soloway. I tried finding them on Twitter and they were not on Twitter. I did scan the paper, you know, the gift paper that Amazon puts in when someone buys it off the gift list to say thank you. So I scanned it and I said thank you. And I just I don't think I've held this up on my channel, but this is going to be the very first Brandon Sanderson book on my shelf. This was the first, like, I got this before I got Starside, and it's just gorgeous. Like, look at it, it's gorgeous. It's Amy, if you're watching this, thank you. I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful, I am so honored. But yeah, this is the very first Brandon Sanderson book I got, and it came as a gift, and she's so pretty. Like, look at her, gorgeous, absolute gorgeous. The next question is self-care, and it's, what is one thing you have done recently to look after yourself? One thing I've done recently to look after myself, I think in a way I have it's so weird, like, because I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. What is one thing that I did solely for myself? Solely for myself. Let me say, the one thing I've done for myself, I've learned to give myself permission to rest. I'm usually someone that is very driven. I tend to do a lot of things at the same time, and I tend to tire myself out, and I can't sleep. Like, if I have work to do, I would not be able to sleep. I will wake up at odd hours in the middle of the night panicking until I get it done. I've given myself permission. Like yesterday, for example, I slept for almost 12, what am I saying, almost 18 hours yesterday. Okay, fine, that was more depressive, but the day before I did get like almost 10-12 hours of sleep, and I was rested. I was able to do my work. I took my time. I think I've given myself permission to just relax. It's also the reason why I've dropped the number of times I will be uploading videos on my channel for a while. So instead of 3 days a week, I'm looking at 2 days a week, at least until I get things together and I feel more okay, or like feel more like myself. Who knows, I might actually end up sustaining it and just making it 2 uploads a week. I'm not sure, but it might go back to 3, it might still be 2, I don't know, but that is just part of the process. I'm giving myself permission to take a break and to relax and to breathe. So yeah, I would say that's for me. So the final question, which is a bonus question, is name a book coming out soon. And oh my God, there's so many books that I'm looking forward to that are coming out soon. Like there's Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty, which is the last book in the Devaba trilogy. I'm looking forward to reading that. There's Star Daughter, there's Cemetery Boys, there's The Book of the White, there's oh my God, like Incendiary, but like this video will go up after Incendiary has come out, but I don't know if that counts. There's Enna Wars, like oh my God, so many great books are coming out in 2020 and I cannot wait. But yeah, that is this video. I'm going to actually limit it to 5 people because Sarah did tag 5 people in her video, so I'm going to limit this to 5 people. So I'm going to tag Lauren over the novel Lush. I'm going to tag Wendy over Cut Between Pages. I'm going to tag Cindy over Review Cindy. I'm going to tag Zoe over Joy Booknet Zoe. And who's the 5th person I should tag? Who? I'm going to tag in Jerry over at Onyx Pages. So I'm going to leave everybody I'm tagging down in the description bar below. Go check them out if you're not already subscribed. I'm of course also going to drop, like I said, Sarah's channel and Madison Mary's channel, so you can check them all out. So yeah, that's a tag. That's my video. I cannot wait for everybody I tag to do it. Please do it. Please do it. I want to see your answers, especially your guilty pleasure like books. Like, let me know. I want all those books. But that is this video. If you liked it, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. Check out my other videos. Subscribe if you want to, and if you do decide to subscribe, please click on that notification bell so you can know the minute I have a new video go up. See you soon. Until then, stay passionate, love books, love yourself. Bye.